Hey, it's Del from Let's Get Inkie, and today we are Traveler's notebooking in my Traveler's notebook. Fancy that. I have got a ton of photos from a recent, this year holiday that we took earlier in the year, and I have just been printing photos for my main channel for Inkie Quill for some scrapbooking videos, and whenever I have either a photo that I really love or a special event that I also want to document in my Traveler's notebook, I usually also print a second copy of it smaller so that I can include it, and that's what I've done here. So if you have been watching my main channel, you may have seen some of those photos already appear in some scrapbook pages too. So I'm using the Citrus Twist November PL kit, and I really love that. I say this every month, but I really love the 6x8 papers that are in the kits, or the 6x6 papers that are in the kits, because they kind of stretch the kit that little bit further so that you can use them for things other than just project life. I'm going through, and you might be wondering, Adele, why are you documenting the same photos again? Good question. I often ask myself this, but I feel like with my project life and my scrapbook album is more of a chronological documentation of every week that I live, not forever, but at the moment it's every week. And whereas in my Traveler's notebook, things are out of order. I combine different photos from different time periods together, so I might do photos from my childhood with a current photo of me, or a photo of maybe my parents when they were younger, and then a photo of us now. So it's kind of got a different vibe to it. I don't know, and I guess I can put a lot more journaling in my Traveler's notebook as compared to my Project Life album. So I'm using all sorts of bits and pieces. I've also got the November embellishment kit as well. I'm using some of the stamps, and I love just nice kind of generic phrases like this that you can use for such a range of photos. So I'm so happy we're here. You could be anywhere. You could be at a birthday party. You could be at Christmas time. You could just be sitting at your dining table eating bacon and eggs. It could be anywhere. And I think that when I look for supplies, when I look for scrappy products, I always try to pick things that are versatile for different situations. So here are these beautiful rub-ons by Paige Evans. I absolutely love them. Slightly obsessed and think I might need another pack of them. And my tip for rub-ons is, you can see here, I'm using it on the left-hand side of the page, and of course there's already things stuck to the other side of this page and all the previous pages before it. So what I did is I just bent the spine of my book back and made it so that there was no other pages leaning on it, because it can affect how the rub-on goes on your page. My other tip for rub-ons, if you haven't used them before, is to use them up as quickly as possible. You'll see these guys appear in a scrapbooking layout very soon. It might already be up. No, I think it's up in a couple of weeks. And my goal for rub-ons is to get them all used up in about 2 months, because sometimes they can dry up and not rub on as well as they originally did. So I'm just going through, and I have no real direction for this page at this point. I just wanted to make a pretty page that documented Archie's first time on a plane. And even though there's absolutely no florally elements, I guess you could say, in these photos, I decided to make it quite a florally page. And I think that it's nice when you can play with photos like this that are quite neutral. You can really take them any direction that you want, especially black and white photos. They're really handy if you feel like you're in a creative slump. Try and print some of your photos in black and white, because there's my phone, whoopsies. Try and print some photos in black and white, because you can really it just opens you up to using a lot more scrappy and creative supplies, and you don't have to feel restricted to a certain color palette or a certain style. So now I'm just continuing to rub on more rub-ons, and I love to use them on top of photos. And here I'm going on top of both the photo and the paper background just to try and I just really like overlapping things. Let me know if you're an overlapper. I like to overlap my embellishments from, you can see here that label is on the photos and on the paper. I love to overlap things off the side of the page and then snip them off. I just think it's a really fun look, and it kind of makes everything not look so floaty and kind of joins it all together. So I'm trying to figure out what to write up the top here, and I wanted to write something about first flight or first plane trip, and I was trying to figure out if A, I could fit it in, and B, what words exactly to put in, and I made this page actually directly after the layout that I made over on my Inkie Quill YouTube channel with those photos on the left, and I called that one Archie's First Flight, and so I think I had that phrase on the brain. So I've really been enjoying outlining my brush lettering at the moment. The pen that I use, by the way, is the blue is a Tombow dual brush marker. They're a little bit pricey here in Oz. We'll just put that out there if you are looking into them. They do have packs available where you can get multiple colours, and that is better value. So if you can find a set that has lots of colours that appeal to you, that is the better way to go. Or just buy one to start off with and see if you actually enjoy it before starting, because they retail about $8+ each, I think. So I like to outline my brush lettering at the moment. It's just a phase I'm going through. I'm just using my Pilot G2 pen, and I'm just putting this one down here that says home time. I added a little bit of journaling to the left off camera, and I always follow the same formula when I do my Traveler'S notebook journaling. I just find that it's a routine that works for me, and you've just got to find the routine that works for you and what things you like to include. So you might not like to include photos in your TNs. You might want to do more like watercolor backgrounds or something. So it's just all about finding the style and the process that works for you and what you like to do. I'm adding some more stamping because I'm really trying this year to do more stamping. My poor neglected stamps. I need to film a reorganization video, I think, of my stamps, because they've just gotten all muddled up, and I'm not using them as well as I could because it looks like dog's breakfast. It's just everything's higgledy-piggledy and it's just not working. Let me know in the comments. So I would say at the moment my creative product that is in shambles are my stamps. I feel like I've got my embellishments okay at the moment. I just redid them. My paper's okay, but the stamps are not. Let me know in the comments what crafty or creative arty supply is not quite as organized as you hope it would be. It's in a bit of a shambles in your crafty space. Let me know, and we'll see if you can see anyone in the comments that you've got some tips for to share how you store that particular thing. Reply to them and let's try and help each other out a little bit. Let me know how you do your stamps. That's that's what I need some help with. So I'm just going through and adding some journaling here, journaling there, and just filling in all those little spaces, either with some stamping. There was this really cute little, like a berry branch type thing that I stamped over on the right hand side, and you can see this photo's got nothing to do with berries or branches, but I make it work. It just fits in, especially when it's stamped in black. It kind of blends in with my journaling anyway. I also added Sid to Taz because they were the airports that we went to, and then I felt like down in this patch here. It was a little bare and I needed to add something else. So I added a couple of hand-drawn stars, and then on the rub-on sheet there's a lot of little, they look like stitching, and I know Paige Evans is famous for her beautiful stitch layouts that she does. She puts so much detail into her pages, and I do often drool over her Instagram, and I can tell that these rub-ons are just very her, and that makes me happy because I do love her style, but I do not have the patience for the stitching. So if I can find little ways to fake it with little stitches like this, then I'm happy. I just felt a connection to this flower, and I think it was because it was the same color as the brush lettering. I just had to put it on this page. It also stood out from the rest of the rub-ons, I think, because it was such a beautiful bright blue, and I just had to put it on there. I had an empty space, so why not? I felt down on this left-hand side that there was a bit of an awkward gap, so I just added a little bit of fake dotted line stitching, and this page is all done. A bit of more of a photo heavy page today, but some of the pages end up like that. Let me know remember your crafty organization dilemma in the comments section. I'll be back with another Traveler's Notebook video, I think in a fortnight, in 2 weeks. I've got some art journaling and some junk journaling coming up as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching my stuff, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye!